And good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning to you.
doctor.
I said good day.
Doctor.
Glad that you're here, Doctor.
Doctor.
Welcome back to Mass. We've been away for, virtually 10 days, I guess, or maybe 14 days, whatever. So please, all rise.
Again?
Yeah,
I just sat down.
I know you did. Glad you're here this morning. It is July the 12th. The year is 2020, the year of COVID 19, the one that everyone will want to forget for years to come. Let me real quick get on my YouTube here.
Starting mine up.
Vicky is in first today. What does she win?
Oh, dang. That's crazy.
Rick Clemenson, good morning, my friend. Thank you for joining us, being up early on a Sunday morning here on the left coast. Left in many ways, not just on the map.
Yeah.
Sasha says, howdy, fellas. Hey, for those of you in early, can you please tell me, I'm hearing a crackling on Ronnie's microphone. Can anybody else hear that?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Check,
Ronnie-
check.
Randy Brazil checks in this morning. Good morning, brothers. Good morning to you, sir. We are glad that you're here.
Oh, yeah. Vicky says it is a little crackly.
I don't know what to do to fix that, Ronnie. I've got everything.
Well, I'll get my brother's snap and pop, and then we'll have it set.
Sasha Sear says she hears a crackle.
Huh.
Is that crackle just in Ronnie's mic, or is it in my mic too? Copper Dan, good morning to you, buddy. Glad you're here.
Vicky says it's just my mic. Well, I'm definitely getting my money back on this free Zoom subscription.
Yeah, I would. Active. Mono balance. Bear with us for just a second. I know we're getting started here. Turning your mic down a little bit. See if that makes any difference. Check 1, 2, 3.
And check 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's horrible, Ron.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's what I was shooting for.
Well, then you raised the bar just perfectly. Let's see. I can try turning you down a little bit. I don't know if that'll do it or not.
Well.
It's your internet connection, says Sasha.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I look good. I got like the full bars on my little radar looking thing. I don't know.
I'm not sure what to do. I don't want to go through an hour of having to listen to that.
Well, you know what? I can.
You want to
I
run
have
that?
I have a different Wi-Fi that I can log off and then come back under a different Wi-Fi and see what that does.
Okay, because now it's starting to fade in and out.
Oh.
Randy
All right.
says slap the microphone. And it looks like we're running a little slow too. I don't know why. CPU usage is way up.
Yeah, everything on this end looks pretty normal.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to do other than start and stop again. I'd hate to do that.
Well, I think I can probably log off, change my internet feed. I have another Wi-Fi feed I can try.
All right. Why don't you do that? What do I have to invite you back into the Zoom?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. Be right back.
And poof, just like that, Ronnie's gone. It's the Lou Gallagher Show. Good morning. Welcome. It's a beautiful day here on the West Coast this morning, roughly around 64 degrees, on our way to a high today of 104. And that is not pleasant. Here's why. In California, we expect that our summer days will be hot, but when we get like 6 or 7 days in a row of hot temperatures, it changes people. They start melting on the inside, and really nice and sweet people become real buttheads. And it's like we know why, but there's nothing we can do about it. So, on our way to a high of 104 today. Good morning to you in the chat room this morning. We're waiting for Ronnie to connect back up. I'm concerned about the CPU usage, Sasha. My computer says 56, there goes 51.4%. Randy says Randy Jr. has subscribed to our channel this morning. Hey, how cool is that? While we're doing the show, a live addition to our subscribers, which lately has been rare. Hope you didn't miss us too much last Sunday morning. The 4th of July was rather quiet inside our house, but I was telling Ronnie before we went on the air that it sounded like Baghdad in the neighborhood, the community where I live in Antelope. It was horrible. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe if I switch over here, I can see if Ronnie... No, he hasn't zoomed in yet. Okay. Yeah, and fireworks, illegal ones. Our governor put his foot down and said there will be no firework displays, and such that there would be no illegal fireworks allowed. The funny thing is, I guess funny, maybe not the right word, but the interesting thing is that how can you enforce that? You'd have to have 1 million cops, each of them out in 1 million cars, patrolling neighborhoods right and left like some sort of a communist state. And no one listened to Governor Newsom. No one did. They showed skyline shots of the Sacramento area from like a tower camera, and it's all you could see for miles and miles and miles and miles were illegal fireworks going off. And as I said, in my neighborhood, it went on till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not one of those people that it keeps me up. And fortunately enough, my dogs don't get freaked out by the fireworks. They actually could care less. And I know a lot of people have animals that are completely frightened and stressed out by those. And that's really sad. There's a couple of things that you can do, none of which seem to work. The poor animals go through a lot of stress. So I hope you made it through safely and with all of your fingers. One of the things that Ronnie and I were talking about was that on Sunday, last Sunday, a week ago, on ESPN at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, there was a special with the Eagles. And it was about almost 3 hours long. The band was on stage, and they never took a break, at least not that we saw. They played continuously for about 2.5 hours or so. And so I got to thinking about it. A lot of times people ask me, Sweet Lou, what is your favorite band of all time? And a lot of people like to guess that it's, let's see if Ronnie, there's Ronnie. Let's see if we can get him back in here. A lot of people guess that it's the Beatles, but actually it is the Eagles. That's my favorite band of all time. Ronnie should be joining here very quickly. Red Bull U, what did you say? I missed that, Ronnie. Waiting for you to let me in. Okay, here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, there's Ronnie. And it looks like he's got a different camera angle this morning.
Okay. How's that?
Oh, that sounds a lot better.
Okay. Well,
You don't have your Zoom background though.
yeah, this is on my computer.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Fair enough. I was just talking about the Eagles special
oh
on
boy,
the 5th of July.
we just watched it, I think Wednesday night, and holy cow, that was amazing.
I'm hearing some crackling still.
Uh,
Okay, well, we go for it then.
yeah.
You really
I
can't
have to
pin
say
down
that the Eagles, I think Vince Gill has not only blended in, he is a major part of that band.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, he stepped in and not only took Glenn Fry's place, but I mean, he might be one of the best musicians and singers in that band now.
Yeah. The guy that I thought stole the show was the lead guitar player whose name was Stuart.
Stuart Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what bothered me was at the end of the concert when they did the second encore and they all
He's not
came
even
in.
out there.
No.
No, he's not out there.
I thought that was so wrong, Ronnie. He made that show.
He's a touring member of the band. He's not a member of the band.
Oh, that's
But
gray.
He's been with them since about, I looked it up, I think it's been like 2003 or something. He plays every vital guitar lick that you know. He plays them note for note.
Yeah.
He's the bread and butter of that group.
And he was part of the harmonies as well.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, so now that Ronnie's back here, what I was thinking was the Eagles have so many hits. They've been doing it for 40 years and just hit after hit after hit. So I thought that this morning what we might do is use them in our Mantasy draft. Now, normally the way that this works, good coffee, is we pick 3. But I thought in celebration of a really great band that maybe what we might do is do 5. Let's do 5 in our snake draft today. Okay, Ronnie?
Oh, there's 100.
Oh, yeah.
There's 100 good songs.
I have a list up of the Eagles A to Z.
Oh.
That's what I'm working on.
Okay.
Or from.
I'm working on this right here. I got them all.
Oh, so you're working with a handicap?
I have a little bit of a handicap on this one, yeah.
Yeah, I think you do. All right. So let's see. I think we're going to go to Randy. Or while you were gone there, Ron, Randy said that he got his son, Randy Jr., to subscribe to our show, and he's watching this morning.
I noticed we had a new subscriber.
Mm-hmm. So, Randy, why don't you have Randy Jr. pick a number and have that number ready, okay, so that we don't have a lot of downtime here. Ronnie and I will each pick a number between 1 and 10. And whoever is closest, and it's not that Price is Right thing where you can't go over. Whoever's closest to it.
Right.
If we're equally surrounding it, then we'd probably have to do it again, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So, Randy Jr., we're awaiting you as our newest subscriber to our channel to pick a number. Don't post it yet, Randy. Let's see. Good morning to Ken Blythe. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. My number, I got it. Do you have your number? I think you go first. You pick first this week.
I'm going to go with the lucky number 7.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going to take 6.
Okay.
So that gives me 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whereas you have 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so Randy, if you would, please give us Randy Jr.'s pick for the number. We are awaiting that post on our live chat. We do about an hour-long show on Sunday. We call it Mass. It's kind of like being in church, just without all the churchy stuff. So,
There's not a lot of sitting and standing
no, or kneeling.
or kneeling.
We frown
No.
on the kneeling. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah. Yesterday I was out, speaking of kneeling and creaking and cracking, I was out throwing the ball for the dogs, and I told Vicky, listen to this. And I moved my shoulder like back and forth, and it sounds like a lawnmower going over a gravel road. So, yeah, she said, I can't even listen to that.
Randy says feed is frozen on my end. The sound is pretty good.
Oh, wow. So, it is.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I see
looking at
that.
it.
Oh,
I'm
that's
looking
great.
at it.
CPU is at 55%, Sasha. 27 frames per second. It's still frozen, huh?
Yep.
Well, let's see. They probably can hear us, but let me check Zoom out.
You just turn this into a podcast. Same, it's frozen, but sounded good. Well, so that's a bonus.
Well, not really. We fixed one problem, and in so doing, completely reconstructed a new problem.
Well, which problem is worse?
Probably the video.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
It moved.
It did?
It's super glitchy. There's a lot of buffering.
Wow. I'm not sure what to do, Ron. I just know that CPU usage is very high.
You know what? Shut down all the porn windows you have open.
No, I can't do that. How am I supposed to get through the hour?
An hour is a long time to go without porn.
Noticing that my battery is not charging. Boy, this is so unprofessional here.
Yep. See, it is like we get one frame and then it stops, and then we get one frame and then it stops. Melody Dotson's here just in time.
Hello, Mel. Good morning to you. Got the skyline of what I believe to be New York City behind me this morning. And
beautiful.
This over here, let's see where. Over here is the Hudson River. You don't want to swim in the Hudson River. All right.
Fish? No fishing either?
No.
No.
Well, you can fish. You just would not want to eat that fish, I can tell you.
Okay.
Sasha says, I can't help that your computer sucks, Lou.
She might not be wrong on this one. Again.
Well, it just worked fine the other day. Oh, no. That couldn't be it.
No.
You want to start over?
Yeah, if you want. Make sure the computer's charging and...
My computer is charging now.
Oh, now, okay.
Yeah. And the audio sounds good.
Okay.
But we're still
What's
frozen.
The usage? Is the usage still 55?
Let me get back to this. Oh, that screen went away. Well, okay, Randy, I see that you picked your number. Don't write it just yet, because I think we may have to reboot here. Close everything except Zoom and OBS. You know this. Well, I think everything is closed, Sasha. There's OBS. See, we're fine on OBS.
Yeah.
Its CPU usage is at 43%.
Just keep chatting. We know what you all look like in motion.
All right. You know what? Maybe that's what we'll do.
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
Are you live feeding the skyline? No, that's
No.
not a live feed.
It's a blue screen. Okay. Randy picks 5. Well, I picked 6. So
you got it.
I get to go first.
You know what? I'm glad because I have a feeling I know what you're going to take.
You do, huh?
Yeah. And I have a couple that are way better. I mean, they're not better, but
are you suggesting that I'm predictable?
Well, no. But when it comes to Eagles songs, I mean, there's a couple that are head and shoulders above everything else.
Okay, well, look, here's the thing. I don't want you to go by record sales or #1 songs. That's why we didn't call it the greatest Eagles songs. It's favorite Eagles songs. And what Ronnie and I are going to do is we're going to compile a team of 5 songs. And that's what you're going to want to vote on this morning, okay? Who has the best team of 5? I know we normally do 3, but we're going to check this out this morning to see if that's going to work out for us. It looks like
everything's up now.
Yeah, but you're not.
We're no longer a podcast.
You're not.
Oh, yeah, that is. That's why. Oh, there I am. Now I'm moving.
Okay.
Maybe I just wasn't moving. All right,
Ronnie. Going first, I'm going to pick Hotel California.
I knew it.
Okay. That's my first pick. Ronnie, you now have the second pick in the first round and the first pick in the second round.
Okay. Let me get to my list. And I know what I'm taking, but I just want to be able to write it down here.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Numero uno is Take It Easy. That's the song that brought them to the national spotlight.
Mm-hmm. I think that was about 1971 or 2.
It's probably 72,
mm-hmm.
I think.
Okay, so did I pick the one you thought I was going to pick?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Hotel California, and so far Ronnie has Take It Easy. His first pick in the second round will be?
Already Gone.
Okay.
2 smash hits off their first album.
All right, so now I have the second pick in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pick Life in the Fast Lane.
Great guitar lick.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And for my next pick, I'm going to take How Long.
Oh, going
Album cut.
Going late model.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I have Hotel California, Life in the Fast Lane, and How Long, How Long. Ronnie, you are up.
Okay. I am taking, I just want to make sure I get this. Yeah. This has possibly the best vocal harmony.
Oh, I know which one.
Of any song ever.
Okay.
7 Bridges.
Ooh, that's a relatively new song.
You know what? They open with it sometimes. And in fact, on the live show, didn't they? I think they did. They opened with 7 Bridges on the live show that they just had. So I'm taking 7 Bridges, and now I have 2. I'm gonna go with Desperado.
Ooh, Desperado. All right, and now I have my final 2 picks, and then we'll go back to Ronnie for 1. I'm going to go with One of These Nights.
Oh, yeah.
And Take It to the Limit.
That's a good one, too.
And Ronnie, your final pick?
Peaceful, easy feeling.
Okay. All right, so now we're at the point in the show where we rely on you to pick who you believe has the best team of 5 this week. We're doing 5 this week. Ronnie has Take It Easy, Already Gone, 7 Bridges, Desperado, and Peaceful, Easy Feeling.
Yep.
I have Hotel California, Life in the Fast Lane, How Long, One of These Nights, and Take It to the Limit.
Yep.
So, Otis Magoo says One of These Nights. Yes, I had to agree with you there, Otis. Nice to hear from you again. You haven't sent me an email in a while, Otis. Just want to update on how you're feeling and how things are going. So, I want you to do that after the show today.
Jason NF, is that our Jason?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Well, he says Witchy Woman. He gave and Witchy Woman's a great song. That's got a lot of great guitar sounds to it also.
Yeah, and a lot of good harmony too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I really like Desperado is just such a cowboy song type thing. I love that song.
They closed with that on the special in their encore, remember?
Yes.
The last song that Don Henley sang.
Yep.
Okay, so we're looking for your votes now, peoples.
So
who has the best team?
Who's got the best team? The 5-man team. This could be a basketball team. Who's got the best basketball team of songs here? Okay, let me keep score. Anon says Lou wins. So
of course Lou wins.
Yeah, well, Anon, what?
What are you saying, Ron? Are you dissing Anon? I don't think so.
Whoops.
Because I'll go to bat for him, bud.
I would never do that.
Okay, good.
I'm just saying he may not have the best judgment. He's probably been drinking already this morning.
You are so nice to our viewers. Melanie, who are you picking, Melanie? Get up there with your vote.
How many tequilas you got already, Anon? How many tequila sunrises?
I really should have picked that song, and here's why. Yesterday in the afternoon, it was cocktail hour, and it was 103 degrees.
Yeah.
And Teresa and I were here in the garage where there's no air conditioning, just a fan. And she said to me, "Do you want margaritas?" And I said, "Damn straight I do." So we began drinking margaritas yesterday in the afternoon. We had about 2 or 3 each. And I was backing them with shots of tequila.
Nice.
So it was a tequila. All good. Voting for Lou.
Oh, there's 3.
Oh, Jason Northface, not our Jason. That's Jason Northface.
There we go. That makes sense.
Sasha, where's Jason at? Maybe he's working, Ronnie.
Yeah, that could be. He might be out treasure hunting. I saw his video. Did you see his video yesterday?
No, I really wasn't on the phone yesterday at all.
He got a little. He got a new. Well, I'm not sure if it's a new one, but he got himself a metal detector.
Oh, I've seen the picture of that. Yeah.
And he went out and found some items buried underground. So.
What, like pennies and nickels?
There was a really nice silver pendant. And it was kind of cool. He found an old dime and some wheat pennies, and I want to say they were from the 40s. So they've probably been buried, and it was an old house back where they are. They're in Kansas.
Your wife got very creative with her vote. She says, "Not sure who to vote for. I can't tell you why."
Tell you why. That's a good song too.
Ken Blythe says, "Like them all, but Ronnie by 2/10." That's a narrow margin.
Yeah.
Narrow margin.
Yeah. I mean, man, so many good Eagles songs. It's like trying to pick a favorite child, although I can do that easily.
Here are some of the ones that I didn't pick. Old 55.
That's a good one.
Heartache Tonight.
How about Duel and Dalton's
Get Over It. Oh, I love that song. I was going to pick it, but I don't think enough people know that one. Let's see. Please Come Home for Christmas.
You know, one of my favorites, James Dean.
Got that on the list.
Love that song.
Good Day in Hell.
John Boyu says vote for me, so it's 3-2. You're up still.
Okay. We need your votes right now, people, on the live chat. Even if you've never live chatted with us before, now would be a great time to do that.
Oh, Ken Blythe says he's giving me. Wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken. Oh, you know what? Now it's 3-3.
Okay.
Ken Blythe and John.
All right.
Both companies. So yeah, it's all tied up.
Need your votes right now. Let's see. The Last Resort. Love that song. When you call someplace paradise, kiss it goodbye.
How about Midnight Flyer?
Oh, yeah, another one.
The banjo is killer in there.
Otis says Lou wins. Thank you, Otis.
Oh, boy, there we go.
I think it's been a while since Otis has voted for me, so it's very much appreciated.
Just by the skin of his teeth, though.
Life's Been Good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's that Joe Walsh. You know, when we saw him in concert when they did Hell Freezes Over, and they have the part in the song when it says something, he's cool or something.
Yeah.
They flash a gigantic he's cool and put the spotlight on Joe right when that part of the song comes up.
They did it in that special, too.
Oh, yeah. And it's all background singers that are doing that when they say he's cool. So.
All right. Your votes now, please. It's tied up at 3-3, please. Only vote once, though.
You have it 4-3 right now.
Oh, okay. Now, is your dog casting a vote?
I think that is a vote for me.
Well, now, wait a minute. Is your dog subscribed?
They're not subscribed.
Well, then they don't count.
That figures.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Buster vehemently disagrees with you on that.
Randy says, who are the Eagles?
I know. I had to Google them myself this morning just to find out. Apparently, they've been around for a little while.
Rapala says he did a coin toss and votes for Lou.
Okay. Well, that gives you a 5-3 edge. I'm not sure. It's almost insurmountable.
At this rate, yes. Randy says, I'm going to go with Lou. Hotel of California squashes all the others.
That's a good one, too. Like I said, I just really thought that Already Gone and Take It Easy would edge out Hotel California.
Not because our band does those two songs?
Slightly was leaning that way.
Yeah. We don't talk about our band enough.
We don't.
We have some great memories over the course of 40 years, you know?
Yep.
Favorite line from the song Hotel California?
Ooh. You can check out anytime you want. You can never leave.
You can never leave. I don't think Teresa heard that line before, and I pointed it out to her. I said, here comes my favorite line in the whole song. And I looked at her, and she went.
But she didn't do one of these. How about they stab her with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast.
You know what my grandson says now? He looks at you and goes, seriously? He's 4.
He's going to get a lot of traction out of that one.
Seriously?
Yeah. I say that a lot myself. I find I'm saying it more and more.
My daughter posted something on Facebook the other day that he said she had dropped her hairbrush and it went under the bed, and she asked Jake to get it for her. And he goes, seriously? I got to do everything for you, girl.
He's not wrong.
Rick Clemenson votes Lou. I think it's over and done with.
Yeah. I'm giving my concession speech.
Okay.
Nicely done.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yes, my favorite band of all time, Eagles. And notice I didn't say the Eagles. They like to be called Eagles, not Eaglettes.
Yeah. Or fledglings.
Right.
No. Eagles.
Okay, Larry says I'm with Lou. Thank you, okay. Okay.
Okay, Larry, your vote is pointless at this time. He's already won, so thanks for nothing. I could use that sympathy vote, though, but I'm just saying, Larry.
Johnny B, all the way live from Poland, says, hate to bail on you guys, but duty calls and I got to run a mission. I will definitely watch later on, though. You know, I wanted to mention that there's a lot of people who don't join us on the live feed for a plethora of reasons, none the least of which would be the fact that it's on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. on the West Coast. And sometimes that can be a little difficult, you know, to set aside an hour. We understand. But I wanted to say a special hi and thanks to all the people that watch the rebroadcast of the show as it sits for a week or so. And, you know, another thing is kind of funny, Ron. I got a bunch of email notifications that people had commented on shows going all the way back like 2 years or so. You know, we have close to 600 shows now.
It only feels like 800.
I know. It feels like 1,000 to me. I was thinking of how many of those episodes I had to edit myself.
Oh, God.
And how much time of my life went into
hours? That. Oh, God. Because it was like 3 and 4 hours a show.
It was, yeah. When you factor in all of the pictures and in the cutting and editing and stuff. And then the uploading, that takes forever.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it's got to be a better way.
Yeah. Melanie says, seriously? Haha. Yeah, seriously. And he looks at you and he goes, seriously?
Yeah.
That kid's going to be trouble. I'm telling you right now.
He already is.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I thought we would get to, this morning is, you know, this is a show done by guys, and it's called Men Are So Smart, and we know that we have a ton of women, of the ladies that like to watch the show, and we're very thankful for that. But we try to stick to our format, which is catering a bit towards guys, because the subject matter normally crosses into both genders. Let's see, there it is. And so this morning, I thought we would talk 7 unattractive things guys don't know they do. Now, this could be really helpful. All right? 7 unattractive things guys don't even know that they do. While you may be great at talking with women, the things you actually do might be telling an entirely different story. That's because sometimes we all do unattractive things and don't know it, which for single guys makes women second guess them. So, here are 7 things, unattractive things guys don't know that they do. Number 1, a big head. And I don't mean noggin.
A melon?
A melon. You can project as much alpha male body language tricks as you like, but just because you're confident doesn't mean you're worth a woman's time. Why? Because with great confidence comes great responsibility to not be a jerk. No woman likes a man that thinks he's better than everyone else, even if he is. And it's embarrassing for her to be associated with someone with such a big head. So, you need to side on the side of humility. Ronnie, have you ever found yourself in a situation like that before?
You know, I tend to be a pretty modest guy, typically. I don't like talking too much about myself, but in the same breath, I drive a bright red Corvette. So, you know, there is that. But I can absolutely sit back and let somebody. I went to a Cars and Coffee car show yesterday, and I have a friend that I worked with in the department. He was in a career-ending helicopter crash.
Oh wow!
And he's one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, and he loves to talk. And I just let him talk for about a half hour straight, and he can, you know, can talk about anything. He's well versed, and especially in cars. He's bought a lot of cars since he's been injured. But so yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind letting somebody else take the spotlight and letting them talk.
Yeah. I think I may be guilty of that from time to time, only because a lot of my experiences are, I don't know, abnormal to the average person. And when I say that, what I mean is, having been in radio for 35 years or so, I have some experiences that are, people go, wow, I can't believe that. And so it seems to me that people like to hear my stories, but I always am conscious of that. And I try to turn the focus back on the person that I'm talking to. I do that all the time.
Well, and I would say the same thing. I mean, I have, Vicky always said you should have written down one thing every day from working in patrol.
Yeah, and made a book.
And then written a book, because you see things that people wouldn't believe, but they're typically stories that we tell amongst other law enforcement officers. Because, and we call war stories.
Yeah.
And we have so many war stories. Some of them just seem unbelievable. People would not believe them. But when you tell them to your deputy friends, they're like, oh yeah, somebody else told me the same thing. I remember that. Or don't you remember? I was there for that. So, and like you said, some of these things they're unbelievable. So,
well, like the one story I told when we did Which One of Us is Lying. One year I flew back with a radio partner to New York City, and one of the things that we did, like on a Saturday night, was we went to a concert in Bayonne, New Jersey. They sent us out there in a limousine to see Starship. And back when they had We Built This City, I think that was their big hit at the time. But Grace Slick was with them. And Grace Slick, of course, was the Jefferson Airplane.
yes.
And my story is that I drank whiskey out of the same bottle with Grace Slick. And her daughter, China, who I don't think was even of age at the time, to be honest. But
Did she have that thing on her lips still when you?
A
little sore.
Love is blind. All right. Next up, loud stacks. What do I mean? Well, you've heard it before. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And when it comes to dating, this quote is actually spot on. That's because bragging about money is one of those things guys do that girls hate. And the example that I'm going to cite is like when it's time to pay for the meal, you might open your wallet in such a way that you have $500 or $600 in there, in $100 bills, and the guy tries to make sure she sees it.
I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, some girls might like it, but it's probably the only thing they like about you. Girls worth dating, on the other hand, are more interested in the value you can add to their lives. Boy, that is so key right there. Rather than the value you can add to their retirement plan.
Most. I noticed you didn't say all.
Right.
Because there's that handful.
It's subjective, for sure. Next up, I'm about to reveal a new term that our viewers and perhaps maybe even you, Ronnie, are not familiar with.
Okay.
Swamp ass.
Yeah. Not familiar with it.
Of all the unattractive things guys can do that they have no idea about, sweaty butt might be the most embarrassing to learn that you have. Sweaty butt, or swamp ass, as it's known, is due to having a dense collection of sweat glands located around your buttocks. There is no easy way to put it, but sweaty butt is a legitimate problem for a lot of guys. Through no fault of their own, not only do some guys literally sweat through their pants, they can also leave a sweat print wherever they sit. Probably not what you had in mind when you said you want to leave your mark on the world. Swamp ass.
Yeah, so one of those guys sits in your vehicle, you hand them a plastic bag. Hey, sit on this.
Yeah. Hey, you see that floor mat down there?
Yeah, grab that. Put
Sit
that up
on
on
that.
the seat. And I will say that at the gym,
Yeah.
you see that a lot. You see just not a lot, but like there's a line right down the middle of somebody's gym shorts, and like, oh boy,
Yeah,
that's not attractive.
not at all,
No,
especially to women.
you know what? Put on two sets of underwear next time.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, Otis says he went bowling last night. Terrific.
Well,
I'm not sure where that came from, but okay, Otis. Number 4, whatever you want. You ever wonder why nice guys finish last, Ronnie? Well, to be blunt, it's because they're insecure. Being insecure is one of the most unattractive things guys don't know they do, but it's all they know how to do. Thankfully, there are ways to fix it. Start by making decisions instead of doing whatever you want, babe. Because as you know, confident guys who know what they want almost always get the girl. So, find value in yourself, speak your mind, and improve yourself every single day. In doing so, you'll avoid all the mistakes nice guys make and slowly but surely start appealing to women. This article guarantees it. I gotta say, you know, that money thing that we were talking about, this kind of goes hand in hand with that.
yep.
Insecurity. Women
Yep.
can smell that from a mile away. I remember a time when I first came back from Salt Lake City, and I came back to no job, no car. I was living on my mom's couch and wondering why I couldn't get a girlfriend. And it's because I was very insecure, and for good reason, honestly.
Yep.
But at the same time, what I'm saying is women can smell that. They can smell that from like a mile away. So you got to try to work on that and make yourself better. Only you know how to do that. Nobody can tell you how. Next up, whining.
Oh,
Okay, so
boy.
here's a hypothetical situation. This is Ryan. Don't be like Ryan. On Monday, he tweets, "Why are babies so noisy this early in the morning?" On Tuesday, his status reads, "Ugh, this weather sucks." He's at the restaurant on Thursday and complains about almost everything, the waiter's attitude, the decor, the food. Now, with a show of hands, how many of you would like to be good friends with Ryan?
Yeah.
Nobody. That's not a surprise, because women don't want to be good friends with Ryan either. And if you're anything like Ryan, it's time to look at the brighter side of life and keep in mind that the grass is greener where you water it. Stage
True.
number 2 is stage 5ing. Every single guy in the world has gotten really excited about a girl and then immediately ruined it by turning into a stage 5 clinger.
Oh,
We get it though.
What
It's-
movie is that from?
Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great movie.
We get it though. It's exciting when a girl likes you, but if you want it to work, you have to keep your mind occupied and expectations in check. Otherwise, you will spook her off. So play it cool and be Casper the friendly ghost instead of Jasper the clingy ghost. As long as you can do that, you'll haunt her thoughts instead of the other way around. It's kind of like on our end as men, we don't want to get 35 texts in a day from our significant other when they have nothing really to say.
Right.
You know, maybe a text before lunch that says, "Was just thinking about you, hope you're having a good day." That's great. But
My
I
wife
don't.
sends me that all the time.
I know, and she tells me about it, and it bugs the crap out of me.
You know, and I think that a lot of that also is like when you're dating, that newness, you don't want to show it. You don't want to be too anxious. And like as soon as you get home, send a text to go, "Wow, what a great night," and can't wait till the next one.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what? bring it down just a little bit.
Turn that
take it
volume
down
knob
a
now.
notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it down a notch. Don't seem too excited like you haven't been here before.
Melanie says, sweaty butt. Oh my God. My memory, says Randy, is so terrible, but it's easily rekindled if someone helps. Well, sure, that's part of conversation.
Yep.
You know, you don't want to try to top the other person's story, though. You just want to, I had an incident that was kind of like that. I did this.
Right.
Uncle Titus says, my chest sweats in the shape of Mickey Mouse ears.
I like it. He'd be very popular at the gym.
But not so much at Disneyland. Ronnie says, is it because you have your chest hair shaped that way? Yes, he grooms himself. He manscapes it into a Mickey Mouse head.
How's that look, honey? Is that straight? Is one ear bigger than the other?
And finally, tipping the scales. The last ugly thing that guys unknowingly do is something we've talked a lot about without ever calling it what it is: being out of balance. Life is a balancing act of a million things coming at you at once, and if you're full of self-loathing or full of self-pride, how do you expect to make room for someone else in your life? Let's see. The last ugly... Balance is the key in every aspect of your life, and not having that balance will make it harder for you to create meaningful relationships. So avoid going too far in either direction by either beating yourself up all the time, self-deprecation, or being too self-absorbed to let someone else in. Some good tips.
We had a guy at the sheriff's department that I worked with in patrol. He was the most Debbie Downer guy I've ever known. We called him Eeyore.
Yeah.
Because he absolutely, it'll never work. We're all going to die. Well, yeah, sometimes you get that feeling, but you certainly don't voice it. You got to be positive when you go into these things. And
especially in your line of work, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And he is so negative, and he's got that absolute Eeyore voice. Oh, God, it was killer.
Do you remember Gulliver's Travels, the cartoon?
Yes.
Remember that one guy?
Yes.
No. It'll never work.
Yes. If I knew that guy's name, that we probably would have named him that. But we called him Eeyore because everybody knows who Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and Tigger are.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so guys, pay heed. Take our advice. Those are some things to avoid. You're probably doing them and you don't even realize you are. And so that's why we bring it up. We move into our next segment here, which is COVID-19, Ronnie.
Boy, big one right now.
Things are completely out of control. Now, some might call me a conspiracy theorist, but I don't really believe that I am. But I can tell you the one thing that has come into my mind that I don't know if a lot of people have thought about, but you'll notice that you're not hearing a lot from Dr. Fauci anymore, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's not getting along with the president. The president doesn't want to be around him. And the thing that I picked up on was they keep talking about this second wave of COVID-19 that's going to come. And isn't it ironic, if not planned, that the second wave is supposed to come in the fall and the election will be in November on the 2nd?
Yeah.
Coincidence? You be the judge.
All I know is I have an app. It's not even an app. It's a website on my iPad, and it keeps track of how many hospital beds there are available and how many hospital beds are full of COVID-19 patients. And in Sacramento, it hasn't gone up that much. We have well over 1 million people. I think it might be 1.7 or 1.8 million people in Sacramento County. We have had 39 deaths. That's percentage-wise, that's nothing. It's
Well, now,
nothing.
let's also say in the same breath that it's not nothing to some people who are directly involved,
I
but
get it.
demographically speaking, and that's what the world is all about nowadays, is demographics. You're right. That's a very insignificant number.
We have in Sacramento County, we have something like 600 ICU beds available, not filled, available. We're ready. If there's another surge, we're ready for it. They just shut down. They had just opened up Sacramento County very briefly, shut it down. And not opened completely, but they opened it up into a phase 2 where you could at least eat inside a restaurant, shut down again.
Yeah.
Placer County was the same way. We had gone into Roseville because that's Placer County to get something to eat. Now they're shut down again. So the time, and I don't care. I enjoy going out to eat, but the problem is you're absolutely killing these small restaurants, killing them. Annie's right down the street from me is gone. They'll never be back. I can't. And one of our favorites is Scott's Seafood. They have a new restaurant that they want to open up, but of course they're not going to open it with all this going on. And the old restaurant is closed. I don't know. They're going to kill a lot, and not just restaurants, but many small businesses are just going to go away.
Well, I don't know if people that are outside of California are aware of this. The hot spots are California, Arizona, Texas, and Florida. Those are the hot spots right now. So maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't, but our governor happens to have shut down wineries.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, he owns, come on, dog. He owns a winery, and guess what? That one did not get shut down.
Well, I'm sure it's an essential business. Yeah.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, there's a lot of inequities in this for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And all those states that you mentioned, I'd have to hear the list again, but I think they're all kind of blue.
Yeah, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
And, okay, and last but not least in this COVID-19 thing, something happened this last week, or let's say in the last 2 weeks, that really sets the tone for what you should believe and what you shouldn't believe in terms of people who have been, for lack of a better word, infected. You know that Ronnie and I are both NASCAR fans, and we enjoy the racing. In fact, Ronnie texted me last week right after the race, and we were both pulling for Matt Kenseth to win it because he's the oldest guy in the field.
The old man.
What is he, 44?
I think he's 42.
That's cute, 42. Well, here's what happened. After that race, Jimmy Johnson, who's married to a very lovely lady by the name of Shandy, or Shandi, I'm not sure. I've heard it both ways. Well, she was suffering from what some might call allergy reaction. She had some sniffles, a little bit of a sore throat. And since they have a small family, and when I say small, I mean they have small children, she thought, well, probably it would be in my best interest to go get tested. And so Jimmy, being the great guy that he is, said, well, you know what, honey, I'll go with you and I'll get tested as well. It's probably best because we have the 2 small kids. Well, here's what happened. They both tested positive.
No symptoms.
Asymptomatic.
Yep.
They both got tested and both were found to be positive. However, they took, or I don't know if she did, but he took another, and he missed a race.
Right. Yeah.
And he had a consecutive race streak of, I don't know how many, 700 or something.
Years.
19 years in his career. He had never missed a race. And because of this COVID-19, he missed one. He was the Iron Man of NASCAR racing, and he had to miss a race, only to find out a day or two later that it was a false positive.
Yep.
And so I bring this story up because it pisses me off to no end that if they could be tested and found to be false positive, how many of these statistics that we're seeing right now are indeed skewed incorrectly? How many of these positive tests have actually been false?
Well, and the reality is, COVID is not a new virus. It's been around for, I don't know how many, been around for decades. It's COVID-19 is because it's from the year 2019, but there's been a dozen other coronaviruses, and everybody's probably had one or, has gotten over it. COVID-19, if you haven't had it, you will have it. It's just that simple. It's not going to go away. Viruses don't go away. They just keep mutating, and you're going to get it. The thing you want to do is have the best possible outcome from it. And maybe if at some point they have a vaccine, then we can certainly slow its progress, but it'll never be eradicated from the world. It'll always be in the world. That's the way viruses work. And, if you look at Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita, they both had it while they were in Australia. They felt tired and they got tested and they had it. Neither one of them had to be hospitalized. They quarantined in their hotel room, and 14 days later, they were fine. They came home. So,
well, he is a proponent of wearing masks, and I'm saying that it's useless to wear a mask. If you feel that you are going to come in contact with somebody who may have the virus, wear a mask.
Right.
It's up to you. The government is not in charge of your health. The government is in charge of making sure that you may pursue happiness. That's it. They shouldn't be legislating who or what should be wearing a mask.
So if the masks work so great, why don't they give them to all the prison inmates and stop releasing them from prison? Good
point, Ronnie.
They have another 8,000 California prison inmates that they want to release because of coronavirus. Like, you know what? That's insane because they've definitely been exposed. There's a large population at San Quentin that has, I think they have over 1,000 inmates tested positive for coronavirus. And they want to release guys. I'm not sure that's the greatest idea.
Whose thought is that? Who came to that recommendation? I know.
That's the governor.
I know.
Yeah, it's insane. And they don't plan on releasing violent inmates, but everybody in there is in there for a pretty damn good reason. You don't end up in prison because you have 16 jaywalking tickets.
Right.
There's some serious offenders in prison, and even the least of which you don't want walking around in society.
Mm-hmm. Gang members, drug dealers.
Yep. People, even spousal abusers. You can end up in prison on, with a couple of spousal abuses for beating your wife or, your kids. Do you want them back living with their wife and kids again? And that's exactly what's going to happen because they tend to release, and also people with drunk driving. If you have like 2 or 3 drunk drivings, you can go to prison. Well, yeah, it's not a violent crime, but it can certainly kill people. You think they're not going to drink again once they get out? Just because they don't have a license does not mean they're not going to get behind the wheel of a car after they've had way too much to drink and drive and put hundreds of people's lives at risk. So
why is it that I work in a county called Yolo County? It's in Woodland, California. And Yolo County, yes. Yolo County has been the most stringent of all counties to this point. and they have put in place a mandatory mask policy, and they say they will be enforcing it with fines to back it up. Now, they may come to your place of business. They may find that you are not wearing your masks 24 hours while you're working, 8 hours, whatever. And they're probably just going to have a talk with you. But they certainly will be back at a later date to see if you are continuing with their recommendation. If you are not, there are fines that can be imposed at that point. And they range anywhere from $200 to $10,000. And I'm sure that's for businesses who are not enforcing the policy. So, people, I'm having to wear a mask now, as I just showed you. I have one right here. I'm in my house. I don't wear it, but I have it because I went to the store this morning before the show and I had to wear one. So I don't want to have to wear a mask. I am a healthy man. Go ahead, Ron.
I can tell you in Sacramento County, our sheriff, an elected official, has come out and said he absolutely will not be enforcing a mask policy. Put it in writing. It's out there. We're not going to go. Can you imagine going to call? How many places? Oh, I got to go to Home Depot again. There's some guy walking around without a mask on. That's not the type of thing you want to send your law enforcement personnel. It's a big, huge waste of time.
Especially when you're defunding the police departments.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Put a sign up at the door. Have people ask patrons to put a mask on. If they do, great. And if they don't, they did their due diligence.
We're all adults here.
Right.
We make decisions based on our own lives. That's what America is about. Now, you can't tell me that I have to wear a mask. You just can't. Yeah. And who's the mask for, Ron?
Well,
who is it for?
It's for others, apparently. It's to keep you from, because you inadvertently have the virus, you could potentially spread it. So the mask does not protect you from getting the virus. It is supposed to protect others from you giving them the virus. So then it makes perfect sense, if not common sense, that if you believe you may have the virus, you should have a mask on. Or you shouldn't be out and about. Don't go out. Right. Yeah, if you have the virus, stay home. Mm-hmm. And by the same token, if you believe you are susceptible or in one of the high-risk categories, you should not be going out much either. Absolutely only essential, going to the grocery store, gas station, your work. If you have to, and I know Randy, one of our watchers, Randy Brazil, he has to go to work. He's still in an essential business, and he's concerned because people are coming into their shop without the masks on. So I get it. He can't stay home. He has to go to work, and yet people I think he said they have like 19 signs that say "Put your mask on." You know what? Maybe post somebody at the door and tell people, "Hey, you have to wear a mask to come in." Costco has done the same thing. Costco has signs, and they have somebody that checks your card, and at the front door they tell you got to put a mask on. They don't go around. They're not strong-arming people once you're inside. I think there's a lot of social shaming going on inside the Costco's with people pulling out phones and videotaping people when they're not wearing a mask. And in fact, I can't remember what state it was in, but led to a huge confrontation somewhere back east where a guy who was a kind of a big wig for an insurance company lost his job because he absolutely lost his cool when a lady was taping him without his mask on. So, and if I could just add this to our discussion, it appears that there's going to be another COVID relief package the government is going to give out to the people. And I think that it's a good idea. I don't think that we're done with this
debacle. However, it's mostly centered around people who make less than $40,000 in a family, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually less than the average income of families across America. Here's my point, though. What about, and they're also trying to make sure that they have incentive that people will go back to work. And you remember that people who are on unemployment have been given an extra $600 a week for being off. Yeah. And it's brought us to a point where people don't want to go back to work. It doesn't even make sense for them to go back to work. However, there will always be people who try to get around the system. They think they're smarter than everybody else, but that's not what it is. Everybody else is just as smart as you. It's just that everybody else is responsible.
Right. Well, and unemployment only works if you're offered your job back and you don't go, you stop getting unemployment.
Right. As it should be.
Absolutely.
But the reason for me bringing this up is, since COVID-19 started months ago, and I can't believe I'm even saying months, but I am, I was deemed an essential worker. And that means that, except for maybe a day or two that I missed for whatever reason, I've been on the front lines every day. Every day. And everybody's work, their jobs, the companies are handling things differently. And essentially, I am a counter person at a welding supply store. And so I'm dealing with people coming in all day long. And so my point is, we have not rewarded people who have been on the front lines with hazard pay. That's what needs to take place at this point. You know, we have been there every single day being exposed to potentially catching the virus, if there even is a virus. There goes my conspiracy theory again.
Huh.
But it's not just that. I come home to a wife, 2 kids, a son-in-law, and a grandchild.
Right.
And so potentially I could be exposing them. What about the people that have gone to work every single day since this all went down? What's in it for them? Why are we catering to people who may not be going back to work because they're riding the gravy train right now?
Yep.
What about hazard pay for people on the front lines? That should be part of this relief fund.
Well, and you know, Rayleigh's in Bel Air, which is only really local to, I think, just Northern California, they actually did give their employees a bonus check. They had it broken down in 2 tiers for full-time and part-time. I want to say it was like $600 to their full-time employees and $300 for their part-time employees. That's what every essential business, Rayleigh's and Bel Air they're grocery stores. So obviously they're an essential business. Every essential business should be doing the same thing.
What I neglected to say was, we even took a pay cut, and it wasn't just 10%. It was 25%, and it was for almost 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, which is double. You know, that's adding the insult to injury, rubbing a little salt in the wound, as it were. You still have to put gas in your car.
Yeah.
Which for a while the gas was cheaper, but now it's gone right back up.
Yep.
Gas is just as high as it used
$3
to be. So you still have to gas up your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to pay. A couple insurance companies have given their their insureds some rebates, but not all of them. I have 2 different insurance companies. One gave us a little bit back, not much, and then my other company, nothing. So, I mean, your expenses haven't gone down. You still have to buy food and feed your family, and pay your rent, pay your
Utilities.
your utilities. Uh, I haven't missed a payment, but I'm in kind of a unique situation. So uh, it is. It's not. I tell my wife we're pretty lucky. I have a steady pension check coming in, and she's been able to work from home. She hasn't missed a single paycheck either. They haven't reduced their pay, uh, and we've saved a buttload of money because holy cow, we went out to eat maybe twice, sometimes three times a week, go to the movies. We haven't done anything. We haven't been out to eat. We've just been shucking money away. So, for us, it hasn't affected us, but that's true for a very small percentage of the American family.
Hazard pay. We need to do it.
Yeah.
It would be very easy to establish who qualifies for it as well. And you know what? For that matter, the IRS already knows. The state should already know.
Yeah, they know who's working and who's not working.
Yeah. And I'll tell you another thing too. You know how they tell us that they don't want us going out to restaurants, and have your food delivered. Well, the other night, none of us. It was hot. It was 100+ degrees. No one wanted to turn the stove on or the oven on, not even for a frozen pizza. And so we all decided we were going to have Mexican food delivered, which I love. Anytime I get Mexican food in a styrofoam container, I'm thrilled.
Yep.
So my daughter says to me, well, what do you want, Dad? And I said, do they have like a taco burrito platter? And she goes, yeah, they do. I go, you know what, instead, what about 2 tacos, beans, and rice? She goes, yeah, it's right here. They got it. I go, how much is that? $14 to have it delivered. $14 to have it delivered. That is price slash or gouging.
Yeah. That's a little extravagant. I mean, that's you're talking ribeye steak dinner right there. With potatoes and vegetable.
Yeah. All right, we need to get out of here, but there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm just going to, this is a blanket statement. I will not be watching the NFL this year. I'm boycotting.
Yeah, I'm going to wait and see what they do on the TV version of it, but I'm not happy about it either. I could certainly go a year without watching the NFL. I'm not buying Nike. I'm not watching the NFL. There's a lot of things that I'm changing up in my life. I'm voting with my dollars.
It's the only way that you can. And you know what else too? And I know that we don't have a billion people that watch this program, but for the thousands that do, what I want to say is that not only am I boycotting the NFL, I'm happy that Major League Baseball is coming back. They've almost screwed that up. Shoot.
Well, Buster Posey's not playing this year.
For the Giants.
Yeah.
The only thing that we can do right now, and this, if you take nothing away from this program today, but this, my work would be done. We have to stop voting for these career politicians. We have to have term limits for politicians. Okay, we do it for the president. The president is elected to a 4-year term, and he can be reelected once.
Yeah.
I believe that should be the same for both the Senate and the House, and also for local politicians as well. You can have just 2 terms. That's it. No more. I am tired of these career politicians who come into office and all of a sudden the next thing you know, they're millionaires. How did that happen? You're not making that much money. Maybe you're making $150,000, $200,000 a year, but it has to stop. We can no longer do it.
They're not making money from being a politician. They're making money from all these side deals that they make. Certainly PG&E has paid off countless politicians to remain a monopoly, because if they weren't a monopoly, nobody would certainly choose to use PG&E for their for their electrical or their gas. So politicians, that's a small portion of their, it's like LeBron James. LeBron James, he makes, I don't know, 19 million a year probably. How much does he make from Nike? He makes probably 5 times that from Nike. Um, so, and here's a guy with a high school diploma is the only education he's got.
Mm-hmm.
And, and people take political advice from him, and like, you know what, stop taking political advice from athletes and actors. They're not that smart. And again, I would say, and the problem is that the vast majority of people are not going to go out there. They're not going to tear down statues. They're not going to vandalize things. They're not going to set things on fire, because most people still care about what other people think about them. But there is a segment of the population that doesn't care what other people think. Those are the people that yell and scream. They're the Karens of the world that go around, yell and scream at people, even though they absolutely know they're being videotaped. They don't care. That section of the population is absolutely ruining America. They don't care what other people think. My opinion is the only opinion that matters. And if I'm, offended by something and you're not, doesn't matter, because I'm offended. Everybody should be offended. It doesn't work that way. So I would say, you know what, that if everybody cared what other people thought about them, it probably would be a better place again. How many times do you remember growing up as a kid where you would hear somebody screaming inside a grocery store? Never. Because people cared what other people thought about them. Now, it's a daily occurrence inside any Walmart. It's people they've lost their minds.
I think maybe that's what we'll end on. People have lost their minds. And it's bringing us to the downfall of this country. And the only thing that we can do is vote. And look, I've made it clear that I am no longer a Republican, but I am certainly not a Democrat. And so I am not skewing this one way or another, conservatively or liberally. I'm not. But what I am saying is go out and vote in November. Now, the asterisk to that is if you are not an informed voter, don't vote. Don't be just coloring in circles all willy-nilly.
Right.
There, I've said it, willy-nilly. Don't, okay? Don't vote. But if you are a mature, rational, responsible American, you need to vote. It's critical in this next election. I'm not
Do
saying
your own research.
Please, don't be a sheep.
Yep.
Okay, don't listen to what you're hearing in the media. And you're getting the truth here on this show. We speak the truth.
We don't have an agenda.
No.
We're not political. We have no political agenda.
I'm not telling you who to vote for.
Right. Just absolutely, they send out a book. They send out a voter's handbook. Read it. Read everything. Do some independent research. Even the internet you can find almost anything you want. If you Google the right thing, you can find a view on there that's probably wrong. Fact check everything yourself. Absolutely do not take advice from politicians, actors, and athletes. They have a definite agenda. I don't know. I just wish everybody would use common sense when they vote.
That's what you get here is common sense, really.
Yep.
And that's why people keep coming back. It's not the moniker "Men Are So Smart." It should be called the Common Sense Show, because that's how Ronnie and I live our lives. We utilize common sense. It's not always what's best for one,
right?
But it is always what's best for all. And only you can make that vote. we're not, as I said, we're not going to tell you which way you should go, but you need to be informed, okay? All right. If you know somebody who's on the fence, have them watch the show, especially the second half here of the show. Although it did start out a little rough in the beginning with technical problems when we're not sure why. Melanie says people have lost their minds. Man, that may be the understatement of the entire COVID-19 period.
Yep.
We're going to look back on this year and think to ourselves, what in the F were we thinking?
Yep.
Tearing down statues, pieces of history.
Art. It's their art.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Ronnie, I got to mow the lawn.
Oh, yeah.
I got to do it before it's 104.
Yeah, it's going to be 104 today. At 8 o'clock tonight, it's still going to be 92 degrees.
This is miserable. Poor Melanie, she lives in Reading.
Oh, that's even hotter.
When it's 104 here, it's like, I think I said 172 there.
I saw in Phoenix, it's going to be 116 in Las Vegas and 114 in Phoenix.
No, thank you.
Hot. That's hot. In the words of Paris Hilton, that's hot.
You're dating yourself. All right, we got to get out of here. Please be sure and check out our website. It's pretty simple to remember, honestly. It's called Men Are So Smart. And there's a lot of fun stuff there for you to view. In fact, there's even a survey that you can take. We don't sell you anything. We don't sell your information. When you send us a message there, we get it on our phones, and so it comes in immediately. Ronnie and I like to make ourselves very accessible to all of our viewers, and we encourage you to email us as well. If you have something you'd like to say, Ronnie, what's your email? What's your email?
Ronnie, RONNIE, at menaresosmart.com.
Christine says, order Men Are So Smart bandanas and t-shirts right now. You know who I haven't talked to in a while is
Dustin.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. He's had some personal things going on, and the last time we talked about bandanas, and I think we said they were going to be 2 for $15, I think. Bandanas with our logo on them. And of course, the t-shirts that we sell are going across the bottom of the screen right now. We have 3 different colors, black, white, and gray. And we even have colors for ladies. If you'd like to get a t-shirt, go back and you can see it's paypal.me/dusterica. And you can order right there your sizes, your colors, your logo color, whatever it is you might want. We can get those t-shirts to you. They're $19.98 and they are free delivery anywhere in the United States, okay? So get those right away, and hopefully we'll have some bandanas up. Check back on the thread for this show, and I'll try to post something after I speak to Dustin, and I will try to do that immediately. There are the sizes: small, medium, large, extra large, 2 extra large, and 3 extra large. I'm now wearing a 3 extra large, Ron.
Dang, good on you.
Yeah. Okay. 105 in Reading, Melanie says.
Oh, boy. Well, we're right with Reading then.
She says dry heat is what we say. Yeah, oven is dry heat too.
Oh, wait, I wonder if she means it's 105 already. That seems more likely.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. All right, let's see. Facebook page, that's at Men Are So Smart. I think we've covered it all. I see the numbers on our website, by the way, in the views and such, and I know people are going there, so we don't make any money when you visit our website, but it gives you a little insight into the two of us and some pictures when we're not doing the show, and some of our family and so on and so forth. So check that out. My email address is right there on the screen. Lou, L-O-U, at menaresosmart.com. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And we will see you. Oh, you know what? We're going to be off next Sunday.
That's right.
Friday is my birthday.
Yeah, it's birthday weekend.
Yes, it is. So I'm taking